Sanibonani, dumelang molweni in a long while and welcome to Through Pass. Elemeka Mosboniso Sizo wakomnikati Sibongo, and if this is your first time here, please do subscribe, share, utshele nabangazi ukuthi we are here like we have never left, because we haven't really left. Last time we were with you, we were talking about the CAF Champions League, talking about the league, but namhlanje we are united as the Bafana, as South Africans. Whether we Pagapaga, whether we Kosi, whether we Mamelodi Sundowns, whether you want a Tribune, you want the CAF Champions League, whether you're going to play a Toyota, what car, but Sisonke manje. The common goal is FIFA World Cup with the Bafana. I'm going to as usual in Petu Coach, Kill Umbrella, the plumber of notes.
Yeah, adle plumber for it. Adle plumber.
What's up? How are you doing?
Very good. Excited. Yeah, the mood is good. Football-wise, the mood is good.
Hinda, but why is it so good?
Yeah.
Yeah,
the mood is good, man. After seeing Pirates winning treble, the mood has always been good because of the celebrations. Listen, the Kaizer Chiefs is having other coaches, so it's exciting in football. They are doing the signings. Pirates now, they are doing signings. Sundowns is doing signings. And also the Champions League, the FIFA is there. Okay, the World Cup. The legends that were playing against Mexico, so it's exciting. So things are happening in football every day. There is something. There's recently a story of Tito Maswanganyi. So there are many things. Every day is exciting. We are consuming a lot of football. This side it's APC Mtsepe playoff. Mkambati not able to make it. On the other side, still play off of NFD. So there are many things that are happening. Still tomorrow, there are PSL games. For Rama playoff, they are still playing. Milford, they blowing the games. So, hey man, there are many things. Hey, but football is nice. We were busy watching these international friendlies. Yesterday I was watching in France. So it's nice, but in the world of football, it's
amazing.
Nice. Yes.
Listen. There's so much happening, as you are saying, but I don't want us to talk about everything that is happening at the moment. We will get to talk about that, but today we are all about 2026 FIFA World Cup. Let us talk about that. There's so many things that we have missed. Well, tomorrow there's a big game, an opening between Bafana and Mexico, which is a very exciting game to watch. It's a repeat of U2010. But before we get to that game, there's so many things that have happened in the build-up for what we are about to witness as far as the Bafana is concerned. Now, let us open this with Kwanza kadami ngamavisa abadlali beBafana kuzoyiwa eMexico. What was the issue there? Who's at fault? What was the thing?
The fault is always with one person. When you look deep at the administration, it's always one person. I think it's Bruce. But Safa. So they're always saying, no, we're taking a collective decision.
Who is this Bruce? Who's Bruce?
General manager. Bafana, Safa, manager Bafana. So it's always, even in 2022, there was an incident that was about something similar, not having this problem of visas and stuff. And then there was this also administrative issue, Then now there's also this administration issue, my visa. So this thing, it's always repeating itself.
We once danced thinking that we have qualified.
For Rule 13.1, but that was long time ago. Yeah, that Rule 13.1 of CAF, that CAF is using the head-to-head. It's not using the goal difference like he did this World Cup. So those things, they always happening. So when you look at the administrative perspective, things have not been that great for Bafana Bafana, because now when they're going there, they have to prepare, they have to leave South Africa and go there. And then that's why you see they've not been even winning that game that they played against Mexico. And then when you listen to the coach tells you that the players have not adapted yet to the altitude, to the environment. They have not yet adapted, but promises that okay, hopefully after 3-4 days they will have adapted. So those things, even administratively, they've affected the real game, yes, the real proceedings of the and the preparations of the team. Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite tricky because now it almost seems like we are just a bunch of clowns when you think about South Africa, because you know that at that particular date you are going to this big tournament, and then now, I for a moment I thought it was an error or fault in Mexico that they haven't approved, but now the question will be like, when did you then apply for these? What is the time frame and all that? Yeah. So it had things to happen or done accordingly. So we wouldn't have find ourselves in such situation. But eventually they managed to get to be there. And Kwasala coach Mkelele, who then followed after.
Yeah. So all those things, they destabilize the team. But those challenges, they sometimes, when there is a problem in administration, they will always happen, because we know SAFA is SAFA. Things won't change. Even if you can cry, if you can do whatever, things won't change. So it's normal. We're going with it. We don't have a choice. Furthermore, in the preparations of Nakwana Lapo, it also goes to, but it's not that much of administrative stuff, but also the management of SAFA in terms of preparations. Bafana did not have the friendlies that suits Korea, Japan, did not have friendlies that suit Czech Republic. We didn't play with any European or Asian country. The focus is so really on Mexico. So for me, even that one is puzzling a little bit.
We did play a friendly against Jamaica, which was not televised, of course.
Jamaica is next to Mexico. That's North America, Central Northern America. Nibobobo, the team that we were playing in that country that we were playing that country that we were playing with the Orlando Stadium.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the name of that team? Okay, thank you very much. Love. Yeah. So
and we played with 12 men.
Yeah. Come on, I think it's only for 2 minutes.
But we did play with 12 men.
Yeah. And also but
that another administration error.
No. That one is the referees. It's the referees that did the confusion. According to the bench, they did everything accordingly. It's the referees that they made those mistakes. So that one, there's nothing.
So like, how does the referee make the mistake? But normal, it's a player who did not see that I'm being substituted.
Because under normal circumstances, the player is not allowed to get into the pitch before the Kuzan. So if they will say no, you're wasting time, go on that other side, and then he doesn't see, or the ref doesn't see that the player has not went out, then he came in. So
the player also didn't realize
they realized after space he told Kuzan, I think it was Undaman or something, I forgot who was it, so he told him, and then he went out eventually.
Yeah. Well, in fact, another big story that came out, an exceptional referee from here, Africa, Somalian, being denied a visa in America. And maybe to give the context, there is this issue between America and Somalia. And it started with the issue of the refugees and whatnot, and then there is this one particular, I'm not sure whether they call it a senator or what, in America, who is also, or maybe I can say originally from Somalia, who've been opposing Donald Trump and whatnot, while Donald Trump is fighting against these refugee statuses and whatnot. And then now this political issue now implicates the FIFA World Cup when the visa is denied for the referee. Top referee from Africa.
Those things are painful, but sport. No, Nelson Mandela said is a sport can unite us and become what? In fact, sport can, because sport is a universal language. It's not even a regional language, but it's a universal language. So it unites the people, it unites the nations.
Yeah.
So with that being said, the nations, they are being led by political space when you go into this political into the political space. We've seen this thing that happened in Russia. Remember when it was Russia, there was always this thing, Ukraine, those we were always sympathizing, because at some point the squad of Ukraine, they said no, they cannot play into Euro because of wara in their country, wara the Russia, and then they were saying they can't even have the World Cup, they will bomb and all those things. Then now we did USA, not South Africa, we're having a problem after Trump last year said South Africa, bad things are happening in South Africa, and then took those 49 African air, and then after that they came back. So those things, they affect even here in Africa. When South Africa has to go to Morocco, there's always these issues. We will see all ministers saying, no, we don't support Morocco, wara. This political space, they always overlap into the sport. So the very same thing that happened to that top referee.
Yeah.
Top referee. I think that referee is number one, because he just refereed. He was working in the final of the Champions League. No issues, no shenanigans, nothing, no complaints, nothing. The game was flowing. He was not the man of the match. So all those things, they also affect the sport.
Yeah.
So this thing, I'm not surprised why they doing that. Even not this thing of having a dilemma visas, I was also thinking that, hey, is it not the problem of Trump trying to?
But we were going to Mexico, not United States.
Yeah, but you know, these countries, they can collude against you when they don't want to. Because I've seen Senegal landing in USA, the way they've been, you know, this thing of checking there when you are bordering at the airport, the way they were checking them, they were opening each and everything on the
Yeah, if you're coming from Africa, that's the thing. You are coming from Africa.
You see. Yeah.
But my issue is, where do we draw the line? I'll ask you. I'm saying this because when you talk about Russia is banned from football, banned from all the sports due to political issues between them and Ukraine.
Yeah.
Then you will see players scoring goals in the Premier League and raising a flag as a Ukraine, and still that becomes acceptable in support of Ukraine against the Russia issue. Isn't that putting politics into football? So are we then saying when a certain cabal is doing it, it is acceptable, when the others are doing it, is not acceptable? Because we also have Yamal raising a flag as a Palestine. So then came out the commentators and everyone saying, no, you're bringing politics into football. Whatever is happening in Palestine and what's this country? Israel. It's none of the sport things. It's not sporty to bring all those things to the game, but they were allowed to bring those things into the game when it was in support of Ukraine. So where do you draw the line between these politics and football?
Football can unite us. Football has an ability of uniting the countries. Through football, we have friends from other countries. Through football, we have friends from Morocco. We're speaking to the people of Morocco. We're WhatsApping with people from Egypt through football. Through
Gambia.
football. Yeah, and even, yeah.
And Ghana.
Nigeria too. Yes. So through football, it has an element of uniting the globe, in
Yeah.
fact. So when it comes to politics, politics, okay, the countries may have their issues, but I mean, for me, my perspective is that football can unite us. Football can influence the pressure, or can reduce the pressure, because I've once noticed that there's a certain country, I think it's from here in Africa, if I'm not mistaken, here in Africa, or
I did what? In Zan.
that is not allowed to land in USA. That was diverted to Mexico. They will only come to USA for the game, the day before the game. Then they play the game. After the game, they need to leave and go to the
neighboring
other
country. I didn't know about that.
So there is something like that. Just I forget is the European country or
Yeah.
something.
But
I
let's-
forget about the name, but there's something like that. This
Yeah.
politics, but you can see that at least the World Cup is able to bring everybody together, because when you qualified, still, although you know that there is only one man that is always having this big headed.
Yeah,
which
no,
is
let's
Trump.
let's finalize on this issue, because we are not really here about that. We are here about Bafana.
Yeah.
So in rounding it off, on my point of view, I think politics have no space in football, and this was not the right time for America to host the World Cup. There's so many shenanigans or so many.
Hey,
things
but
that are
World
happening.
Cup, you plan it more than 5-10 years.
But you
before.
can always change and say no due to these political
Come on, and
affairs.
that's why I'm telling you that that guy, Trump is big-headed. Trump will not. He knows that there will be investors and everything. Trump like his spotlight, so there was no way that he was going to say no. I don't want the World Cup. Even that thing of World Cup, when all that ceremony was being done,
I'm
and stuff,
saying to
he has
you,
been
are you
hijacking.
honor?
He has been hijacking the middle space. Everybody's saying that the World Cup is going to America instead of saying the World Cup is
Canada
going
and Mexico.
Yes.
But here's the thing, it's not the decision that Trump, the decision of the FIFA. They have a power to decide.
I bet you Trump influences the GNF in a
And
container.
that's when the politics come into football, which we are saying,
Obvious,
we are
these
agreeing
things-
with it. It's bull.
Okay, it's bullshit.
I didn't say it. Let's move forward.
Yeah, I
Let's move
understand.
forward.
No.
As boom at the topic.
Let me
is
say
there.
this thing
Yeah.
only. When the football on its own, the administration of football, when there is politics that is interfering, then FIFA is very, very strict. But with that being said, also the FIFA, the grounds and stuff, the infrastructure that is needed by football, it also needs the governments need to agree, and all these thing of visas and stuff and all the rights and stuff. They also, so this thing, they work hand in hand. So that's why even Dr. Patrice Motsepe, for the president of CAF, is always emphasizing that government, please try to build the stadiums, build the infrastructure, improve the grounds and stuff, because it goes hand in hand. So politics goes hand in hand. And but when I wanted to say, where do we draw the line? I'm saying the FIFA draws the line when the politics has to interfere in the administration of the sport. That's where FIFA comes in. But not that they won't allow this thing, like the nations that are going from the country to the country. Obviously, we need to abide by the rules of.
Are we safe from Ukraine, from Iran?
Not. Is there anything that has happened? No.
There is a
Then
lot
Iran-
happening.
Iran-
There was a
Iran-
bombing taking place.
Yes,
yesterday
but
in
Iran is
Israel.
there in the World Cup, so. Bafana
Well,
Bafana.
let's move forward. Tomorrow we are watching Bafana versus Mexico, the repeat of 2010 FIFA World Cup, which ended in 1-1. We saw a replay of that between the legends that were there in 2010. South African legends suffered a defeat of 5-1 from Mexicans. Is this a sign that tomorrow Sundowns, Bafana is going to... What are you laughing at?
Yeah,
Is this a
Sundowns
sign?
fan.
No, there's no Sundowns fan here. Is this a sign that Bafana is going to be ambushed tomorrow in the opening game, your World Cup, I don't know. You tell me.
It's going to be very difficult. It's going to be very, very difficult. The stadium, I've heard that the stadium is the biggest stadium ever. I don't know if I'm correct. Maybe it's 123,000. something like
Capacity?
that. Yeah.
Ha!
Hey, they said that the stadium is big. It's big. So I think that's where this culture of Mexican wave, I think it comes from that stadium, because it's a huge, huge stadium. So that's why there would be an opening ceremony there. So Bafana, it would be tough. But I know what at some point, Bafana can have the bite, but it will be very difficult. The environment, the atmosphere, but knowing the players that we have having played the majority of them having played Champions League and won the Champions League, I think they will also wrap that experience and influence so that they'll be able to cope even under pressure. And the coaches have been there before as a player, so he knows the environment. Although it's different from CAF there, but they've know the pressure from North Africans and stuff, so the players, it won't be the new, obvious, the world stage, but sometimes they've been in the Club World Cup. There are players, the sometimes players, they've been in the Club World Cup, so they understand the atmosphere, so it won't be something new. So I just hope that they will wrap the experiences to even other players, and then make sure that they get the formidable result.
Okay. So looking at the squad that we have and what you are saying right now, who do you take playing or starting this game tomorrow?
Firstly, I'm
From
thinking,
Bafana
because you're playing Mexico.
Yeah.
Mexico that will having a pressure, that will need to dominate the possession. In terms of quality, I think Mexicans, they are better than us. Really, they are better than us. In terms of the ranking, they are better than us. The technical ability to concede, okay, they are better than us.
Yeah.
So I doubt even that the supporters. So obviously they will want to dominate the game. They will want to come at us. They will be having a pressure. If they go for 20 minutes having not scored, they will have a pressure. They go halftime having not scored, they will be always having a pressure. The stadium, the mood will change. If South Africa, they get a goal, obviously they will be working at their advantage, because the stadium will go quiet. For at the same time, if they're not playing well, or maybe they're busy playing the ball at the back, they're wasting time, obviously the fans. So as long as the players will understand cognitively that they need to play the game and not play the occasion, and make sure that they block everything that noise that is outside, and then they focus on the game. So I'm thinking, because for me, I'm thinking if Hugo Broos can go with a 5-4-1 formation, 5-4-1 formation with Williams, with Mtau as a right wing back, and Modiba as a left wing back, and then left center half Bogazi, Olutumakaya, central center half, and then the right center half should be Akon, and then in the midfielder it should be Ustole and Umrebul, and then in the left wing forward should be Apolis. Right wing forward, I will start with Usbelebele, and then obviously we have the number 9.
Yeah, you put Usbelebele forward.
Yeah, Usbelebele forward. The reason is simple. Usbelebele is what is very close to what Morena has been giving us, because if Morena was there, Morena is the one that was going to start, and then you know that whenever there's Mtawa and Morena, you must know that on that side you won't be having problems. There will be no counter attacks, there will be nothing. That game will be locked on that side, and then also we'll be having a potential of Morena getting those long balls and then able to make the crosses and make the accurate crosses. When you look at the abilities of Usbelebele has the engine. Usbelebele can defend. Usbelebele can run 90 minutes non-stop. Usbelebele has an ability of dribbling into the box and do cutbacks and dribbling to the box, and able to take a 1v1 and able to cut in and able to shoot outside the box and able to shoot whenever he gets the space. And also Usbelebele has the speed. So when we're looking at Mren, and you know that you're covered on that side rather than having Ulokuzan. Rather than starting Umasego on that side, because Umasego will need to cut in whenever he's cutting it. It means whenever in the time of a transition, so they will come in direct to Umtao. And when you have the both right footers, that side will be locked because the pressing will be starting from the top. So because he won't be cutting inside, because remember Umtao won't be overlapping. But if you have Umasego drifting inside, so Umtao will need to overlap, and then you playing away. It's like obvious you're playing away because you're playing with the host. So obvious you are vulnerable for counter attacks, and knowing that they will be dominating position. So South Africa need to go on mostly on a counter attack because Vele won't be having the ball. Yeah. So that's why I'm starting with Ulokuzan.
Okay, so you're forward now.
Yeah, Ulokuzan.
You said a police was Spelebel.
Yeah, no Spelebel, and then first. Number 9, I did say first.
Okay, Reyners?
Yeah. Nah, we're starting with Foster. Yes, we're starting with Foster. Over Mahopo, I need to start with Foster because Foster is a box striker. Foster, if he can get the supply,
but we are sure, Banje.
I know we are sure, but you know, South Africa has been like that for longest time. South Africa strikers have not been the goal poachers scoring. So it's the work of the midfielders. So and then second half as the game progresses, because you know what I've noticed, the Mexicans, they can do both. They can do a combination play. They can break you. Yeah, they come through you. Central. They also dangerous on a diagonal balls and set pieces. So that's why we'll need a boss tall so that they can make sure that they load the game. Then maybe as the game progresses, maybe you put Umasego on the left when you change Police, or you put Adams. Maybe so that you take out Reyners. You put Reyners to take out maybe Foster. There you're going strictly for Malukuzan and a counter attack. When we have Masego, no Reyners, speed one way. Nah, Masego is ahead of Murem. Murem need to sit down and watch this World Cup from the bench because it's not fit. It's not fit. It's not even a 45 minutes. It's not even.
Why are you going with the player to the World Cup if he's not fit?
Because it's a thing that I've been saying more than 3 months, 4 months ago, that I'm seeing the crisis. We don't have wingers in South Africa. We are in trouble. That game of
But
Chiefs,
you left Mateo.
That game of Chiefs. And forget about the thing. We have 26-man squad now. We have 26-man squad. Okay.
But you say we have a problem of wingers.
Yes, but he is not the type of is not preferred. Now let's talk about what we have here. What we have.
So we don't have the problem of the wingers.
We have a problem in Bafana.
Who's selecting the players?
If you like to put it like that, because it doesn't it doesn't suit his profile. It doesn't suit Hugo Broos' profile. Now we're dealing with 26 players. Yeah, just it.
Right. I'm holding my phone like this because I want to tell you this. Since January this year, Mexico played Panama. They defeated Panama. 1-0.
Yeah.
They played Bolivia.
Yeah.
They defeated Bolivia. Yeah. They played Ireland.
Yeah.
They defeated Ireland 4-0.
Yeah.
They played Portugal 0-0.
Yeah.
They played Belgium. It ended in 1-1.
Yeah.
They played Ghana.
Yeah.
They defeated Ghana 2-0.
Yeah.
They played Australia. They defeated Australia 1-0. They played Serbia. They defeated Serbia 2-0. Those are the people that we're going to face.
Yeah. It's tough. And then
Bafana
last 5 games, no win.
No win.
This 3 draws and 2 defeats, something like that. Yeah, it would be tough. But being football,
will surprise you.
Football will surprise you.
Mexico playing in Mexico City Stadium.
Yeah, Baba. Today, or yesterday, Japan last week, they beat us 5-0. Today,
now you're talking about Banyana.
I'm trying to say football.
Okay.
It's football. Football doesn't have a therefore.
No, you need to be clear. Don't confuse people.
If you plan, no, it's still football. It's 11 against 11. Still one football that is being chased.
Bafana Japan, that's you cannot even
I'm
think about that.
saying, listen to the context. But Japan, 5 days ago, they beat Banyana 5-0. Today, Banyana was beaten to Japan 1-0. So it's possible. This is football. It's possible. You come there, you park your pass, they get a pressure. You go there, you go the count, you get a corner kick, you get a set piece, you get a VAR. It's a VAR 2. It's a goal.
So do you see you see
Hey man, I'm trusting my boys. I'm trusting.
No, forget trust and love. We all trust and love them. You see Bafana winning.
Yeah, Baba. I'm saying Bafana not losing tomorrow. Or yeah, Bafana won't lose. I won't lose.
Are they going to win?
Trust my defenders. The defenders.
Whether they win, they lose.
They won't lose, Baba. They won't lose.
Or they either win or draw.
Yeah, it's a win or draw. Baba won't lose. Yeah, Baba. Oh, defense is defense. Yes, we are taking on the left. It defense. We are solid. The problem, Tina, we only have problem there at the front. Make a failed defense, we covered there. The problem is there in the strikers.
As the strikers in Mexico, is a top goal scorer in Saudi.
Yeah.
It scored 36 goals.
Yes, and also there's 17-year boy that they're
talking
about. Yeah, we'll see that. As long as when you are tactically smart, solid, and able to do the shifting, able to block, controlling the spaces. Because at the end of the day, the goal mouth is there. When you're controlling the spaces, I was so happy watching that game of Lokuzan, Banyana and Japan. The whole 8 players, they were just in the box, making sure that they were managing. When you watch Champions League, watching Arsenal and I forgot what they were playing. The Arsenal were just in the box, managing the spaces. Because we must make sure. And it is what I'm saying. We must have height. That game will need height. That game will need high intensity. We will need the fresh legs. We will need the bench there. So everybody needs to play. So Smelebel, they don't even need to change him for me. Smelebel would have played because I'm 90 minutes because I'm worried about Adams. I would have started with Adams, but I'm worried because Adams is always late and then we'll get my yellow card. So I'm just worried about that. But whenever he gets that 15 minutes to make that one killer pass, November's one, you can bring him, make that one stand, and then that big heel, then we'll get a goal. I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic.
Well, that's just about it from us. We would love to know when Bafana going to win this one, or we're going to draw this one, or we're going to lose this one, as it has been said by many media outlets that we are the weakest team in this group, which I do not want to believe that. I believe that our boys can do pretty much well. We also saw the preferably 11 from the Group A, which included the players from Mexico, South Korea.
I've been watching these medias, Fox, ESPN. Remember, they don't see us. And it's what is
we must bring an element of surprise.
Yes, and this is why I'm so happy because everybody will be saying no, just
a walk in the park.
Yeah, I like that one.
That is from us, from It Through Pass, from please do subscribe, comment, and I will share with you.
We're not losing tomorrow. We're not losing. South Africa.